Hello, Bulldogs, and welcome to another edition of Open Line on Air, a program which is dedicated to keeping you, the viewers at home, informed about what's going on in the Garfield Heights City Schools. For this episode, I've invited a guest that many of you likely have seen throughout the district over the years, Mr. Lamont Bradford, who serves as the principal of the Learning Center. Mr. Bradford is going to share a little bit about his background and what happens on a daily basis at the Learning Center. So let's go ahead and let's begin. How long have you been involved in helping students in public education?
Well, I've been involved in public education for over 20 years now. Started in, I believe, 1993.
And how about your personal background, Mr. Bradford? Where are you from originally, and where did you go to college?
Well, I'm from the city of East Cleveland. I was educated in East Cleveland Public Schools, where I graduated from Shaw High School in 1986, and I went on to Wilberforce University, and a historically black college university down in Southern Ohio.
And played basketball.
I played basketball and graduated in 1992 from there.
With a degree in?
With a degree in business management.
Well, so clearly with a degree in business management, this is not the traditional path to become linked to public education. Can you please share the circumstances under which you ultimately got involved in public education?
Well, a mentor of mine by the name of Leon Hines, who still teaches in Shaw High School, after I graduated, asked me to coach basketball with him at Shaw. And then one of the visits to the school to get some paperwork done, he said, hey, you probably need to come up here and work. And I said, what can I do? And he said, why don't you try subbing? And it went from subbing to kind of just, I fell into my dream job of working with kids in education.
And your path to Garfield?
My path to Garfield, actually, I was working in a program in East Cleveland Straight Talk. It was a drug prevention program that I was going to bring to the city of Garfield Public Schools. Then Superintendent Ronald Victor asked me to do my program there, but when I came to actually do the program, he asked me if I wanted to actually be a part of the Garfield Heights City School District.
So when you came to Garfield, you were heavily involved in the intervention program. Share a little with the viewers at home about that experience.
Well, working in intervention, I was working with at-risk kids as far as, a program where it was like an alcohol and tobacco and other drugs program, and also a program where you just kind of do like more personal development, trying to get kids anything from under the umbrella of self-esteem all the way to career goals.
So the intervention program led you to Garfield and the Learning Center, and it was created. So can you share a little with the people at home, just what is the Learning Center?
Well, Garfield Heights Learning Center is an at-risk program where we work with students from the ages of the 8th grade through 12th grade on, for our 8th grade academy, we're trying to get those students who might need a little bit of help to get them prepared for high school, because we all know that the most important grade in high school is the 9th grade. You find a lot of students end up not doing as well as they should in 9th grade, they end up playing catch-up from there. Our 9th grade component to the Learning Center is where we have our 9th through 12th grade students, basically a credit recovery program for students who may need to catch up on courses that they may not have passed the year previous. They have an opportunity to get done with like maybe 2 courses in 1 year at the Learning Center.
Talk about a little bit about the expansion that we're going to have for next year.
Well, next year we're going to be expanding and adding another 20 kids. We're going to do a sole 9th grade academy along with our 8th grade academy, so we can have 20 8th grade students that are currently 8th grade now identified as students that might not be just ready for high school just yet, that might need an opportunity to get themselves a little bit more prepared academically and socially for high school, so that they can be prepared and go into high school as a 10th grader with 5.5 credits that they might get in the 9th grade academy.
In a given year, Mr. Bradford, how many students would you say that the Learning Center serves?
I would say about 120.
From, again, 8th grade to 12th grade. How about the courses? What classes do the students who attend the Learning Center participate in?
Students attend in all Common Core classes. We have social studies, we have language arts, we have math and science, and we also have an art class, and we have reading class as well as creative writing.
Can you share with the viewers at home who teaches at the Learning Center and some of their qualifications?
Well, all of the staff members of the Learning Center are staff certified, teacher certified through the Ohio Department of Education. Our middle school teachers are certified in grades 4 through 9. Our high school teachers are certified in grades 7 through 12.
And they're working with some tough kids and doing some tough lessons with some of them, because they are at-risk students, correct?
Yes, they are. I think the biggest thing that the teachers and the staff there at the Learning Center has realized is that it's also life lessons. It's not always academic. We have to give our kids and make sure they're prepared for life after high school.
And they still can graduate with a Garfield Heights diploma.
Our students graduate with a Garfield Heights High School diploma. They are able to participate in school sports. Anything that a regular student at the middle school or the Garfield Heights High School, they also can do being students in the Garfield Heights Learning Center.
How important is technology at the Learning Center? And you still have that opportunity to use it, of course.
Well, to speak to technology, it's probably the most key component to the Garfield Heights Learning Center because of the fact that the students have an opportunity to do more than one course in the same subject area in 1 year. A student may be in the 10th grade English classroom, but he also has an opportunity to make up that 9th grade English credit that he didn't get on a computer while working with the teacher in the 10th grade English class.
Can you speak briefly about Ms. Pollock's contribution to the Learning Center? Who she is, how does she help out, and when does she come over?
Ms. Pollock is actually a key component to the Learning Center because Ms. Pollock, her program that she does is like an individual personal development program where she speaks to students through personal experiences she has from anything from life skills to career goals on to, being able to identify some of the things that you might need to work on for yourself as a student to make yourself a better person when you get older.
Mr. Bradford, you really became somewhat of a celebrity around here, as recently you were featured in an online story about African American administrators. Talk about that honor and how that whole thing has evolved.
The Plain Dealer did a piece on African American administrators and the jobs that they do. And actually, to be honest with you, I didn't know there was that many African American administrators within Northeastern Ohio. So actually it's led to a cohort that we've started known as AAA, African American Administrators Working in Education, where we're actually trying to make sure that we can better help people get into administration that are African American and also help students in general to get into the education field.
Mr. Bradford, thank you very much for being here with us today. This episode should demonstrate to the viewers at home that the Garfield Heights City Schools is dedicated to every child in this district. The Learning Center is a valuable resource for even our most troubled students, with the ultimate aim of still encouraging them to graduate. I want to thank Mr. Bradford for his energy and for being with us here today. It was a wonderful conversation. That's all for this edition of Open Line on Air, and I'm your proud superintendent, Terry Olszewski, and as always, go Bulldogs!